Hey everyone, welcome into Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. It's May. We have the May login calendar, which is Ahsoka, and much to my surprise, and it wasn't data mined, not that I've seen it anyway. So that means they're hiding stuff. But the login calendar from the web store is Shock T. So even if you're not planning to buy, of course you know this by this point, but even if you don't buy the Gaslight Speeds bundle, they're giving you Shock T. So that's good. Very good. And then if you do, and then in the store goodie giveaway, they're giving away random Jedi, and I pulled a Katarn, which is not bad, because I get some Omegas too. That's good. So, like I said, all we're going to be doing now that we're storing up for the 4th is we're not going to be spending any energy. All we're going to be doing is collecting our stuff and doing some shopping, and that's about it. And it's not super exciting, but in case they don't, if they're doing the whole 4th double drop thing, which they really should, because it helps create excitement about the game, which is never a bad thing. We're going to take advantage of that. And if not, we'll have lost a little bit of momentum, and we'll have probably wasted a couple of days of energy, but they didn't tell us not to. So, I'm hoping that we don't end up wasting any energy, because that's, of course, not optimal and not helpful at the same time, but sometimes it's just the way to do it for whatever reason. But I'm going to hope that we don't have that's not what's happening today. So, but when we get to the characters, I did hit some stuff either out of the shop or via whatever I was doing today. So that's good. So we have that to do. And then, we have a little bits here and there, like, even though we're not doing fleet battles, we're still doing the fleet challenges and everything else that goes along with it. So hopefully, we get to promote something. It'd be good if it was happening. So let's jump into the account and see what's what. Hopefully we're gonna pop into some stuff here. We don't need Vader for the fleet, so I'm not gonna concentrate on him. We'll probably be the last one we concentrate on. But we do have where we need 15. So I think because we're only at 10, I think we're gonna wait and save up some more energy. That's never not a good idea. But I wanted to talk to you a couple things other than what we've been talking about before. One is the Bad Batch. I know that for me, I just watched the video the thing on the 1st, but really like season 3. I know that's some of you might disagree, but I think it's really positive because it's been a week. I'm going to go ahead and lean into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the Bad Batch finale, by the time this video comes out, I'm going to go ahead and give you a countdown. I'm not going to start talking about it yet, but you might want to skip this portion of the video. So I'm going to go and count it down from 10, and then we're going to go into spoiler territory. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, if you're still here, I'm going to start talking about the Bad Batch, so you've only yourself to blame. If you don't want to hear spoilers, I am not the person who cares about spoilers, so it doesn't affect me, and it never will. But, what I liked about the Bad Batch was I liked, you know, I didn't realize until I was watching the Screen Crush that the kid, the trooper, the kid that got away, the apprentice kid that got away in the first episode was Kanan Jarrus. Didn't realize that. And it's problematic when they had put out a comic book previously that had explained how he survived. And, you know, the fact that they had to go back and retcon him and ended up being the Batch that was who let him go is, whatever. Or did I watch that when I was watching, whatever, but I just thought that was interesting. I didn't know that. But I liked all the Clone X's they use in there, and I alluded to we're getting some stuff. I think we're going to be getting some stuff soon. In a video I did a little bit ago, or for me it was like about 10 hours ago from when you're seeing this, from when I'm recording this, about 10 hours ago, and that. I alluded to, I thought we were going to get a bunch of stuff. I think we're going to get the whole Kelleron Beck treatment, like they did for Mando season 3 with him. I think we're going to end up getting all of those Clone X troopers. Would not surprise me if we get them for a legendary or something else, and I think they'd slot right in. I don't know if they would be troopers or if they'd have to have another leader, or because that'd be interesting if they put Hemlock in. If Hemlock was the leader of the team, and you know he's just ordering all these Clone X's around, that'd be really interesting, I think. But definitely excited to see that. Sorry, I moved out of the frame there for a second. I had to scratch and itch on my leg. But, I definitely think we're going to get a version of Crosshair this year. Would not be surprised if we get a better version of Omega, because it's kind of like the first version of Omega that's in this game, or the version of the Omega that's in this game now, was sort of where she was when they were put in the game. And I don't think the version that we end up with at the end of the season, at the end of the finale, not the prologue, but the one that ends up in the final episode, are the same person. I feel like that the clone that we end up with at the end of the show is a very different, more capable, lethal threat than the Ahsoka that we have in the game here. I mean, Ahsoka, Omega. Sorry, the Omega that we have in the game presently. So, would not be surprised if we get a version of Crosshair, and if we get another version of Omega. And then they even set up, if you further prologue, they even set up the possibility of another version of her in the future. And people are expecting, is there going to be another series? Is she going to cameo in one of the other movies? And it's like, feel like they kind of have to do another show, another series. That, because of the way they did it, I just think that everybody would be fascinated by that. And I wouldn't be surprised if she comes into play in some capacity, either in her own show or if she comes into play in the Ahsoka show. Which I know the Ahsoka show is like, it's like how many years after the events of the Clone Wars? Because the Clone Wars happened. Then there's this. And this happens after episode 3. And then we have all this time between episode 3, by the time, between the time of Luke ended up on Tatooine and Leia ended up on Alderaan, and all this time between them being born and the events of A New Hope, and then of Empire, and then of Jedi, and then after Jedi, it's when all this Mandoverse stuff happens. But Bad Batch supposedly ends about 19 years before BBY, and some people have speculated, at least Screen Crush did, that they aged her up about 14 years, which that would put us Andor. So wouldn't it be interesting if she ended up in Andor season 2? Because there's a big gap between, because there's still, depending on how old she was. If she was, how old was she in the show? 5 maybe. And if it ends up being more than 14 years, if it ends up being something like she's in her mid-20s or something like that, then we could be like, hey, that's Ahsoka territory, in my opinion. And I think it would be really good if she ends up in Ahsoka. I don't know that, I know that people would have their problems, but I think it would be fine. Anyway, I'm going to end the speculation here. Talk about the thing here, but I'm super excited about it. Anyway, don't know what else there is. I'm just knocking out all the stuff that I normally don't do on screen, just because I want to be able to give you content. I do want to be able to show you what I was able to accomplish before I ended up going into storage mode for the 4th, because it's like, hope I don't mess this up, but I probably am, honestly. And don't worry, I didn't end up losing him this time. That's good. Sometimes I'll end up getting my Dark Trooper beat by that Tonner. But still the rest of the team wins. And this is just something I do. And I know, this guy has basically what we're going to have here in a couple of days once the pack go live. But these aren't quite Relic 3. They're only Relic 2, but even at that, they're not that hard to beat. They're pretty easy. A lot of people who asked if I'm gonna buy packs when this event goes live, and I said that, and I told somebody, yeah, there's a 90% chance that I am with the Hyperlight and probably the other account, but I'm not gonna say there's no, but there's I'm not feeling the need to on this one. And, I don't know. I just don't know if there's going to be enough worth it to do there, because, I mean, I know there's value in all those packs, but it's like, on this account at least, it's like, do we really need it? And the answer is, I don't think we do. So, I'm not planning to, but never say never, because things can happen, and if they leak stuff, which I kind of think they're going to, and they give people a reason to want to jump in and buy stuff, then I think I probably will. I mean, I think that's reasonable. Anyway, let's jump in and see what I get here. Not ship-wise, but character-wise. So we get this piece for Chupio, which I don't want to equip because we're not done with Chupio. But this is the what you call it there? What am I thinking of? The Cairo there. This is just a piece of normal gear that I was able to farm for Palpy before we get the thing. And so we're going to go ahead and jump in and try to farm whatever we can for this from, you know, can we get it through the shop for whatever reason. And if we can, it'll be fine. If it's something we have to buy, I mean, we don't have a lot of money. We don't have a lot here. So I don't really know that this is the best idea. But if there's something reasonable that we can do, and I need to see how long my raid payout is. Are we doing a raid? I think we are. Yeah, we are. And we're going to get payout in 2 days. So the raid just started today, so I really don't have a lot of money to play with, which is, you know. But, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and let you go here. If you're still here, let me know. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow when we continue to hoard resources for the 4th, from May 4th. Hope you have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hold the line. Bye.